We're back. So it goes like QTXO. Quality time with Jasmine Solano, you've now learned. I feel like we need to dap it up because you're DAP The Contract, you know, and you gotta.
DAP is strong.
Thank you.
DAP is on point.
Thank you so much. That's because I'm an East Coast girl.
Yeah,
you know
of course,
what I'm saying?
yes.
This is DAP The Contract, an incredible musician, singer, rapper, artist, former lawyer. I think it would be really fun to give random people free advice, like a free advice booth. Yeah, you never know, but are you down?
I'm 100% down. Let's do it.
All right, let's hope people actually come up to us. I think we look like we can give good advice, you know? I wore the blazer so that we would look a little more official. There'll be a line down the block, okay?
For sure.
Okay, so here's our jar, and people that come into Heaven and Earth Wine Bar are gonna write down free advice questions. That way they can be a bit anonymous, and we'll see what they wanna know.
Let's do it.
Thank you, thank you.
I hope we can help.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. We're at Heaven and Earth.
It's beautiful in here.
In Greenpoint. Tekla's a long time friend, and this place is like a manifestation of everything she loves. And there's all these personal items from like her mom. There's books up here from when she was like 7 years old, piano books, because she was also a touring musician. Yeah. She's also a singer and just an all-around kind of Renaissance woman. So we're here in her place.
Thanks for having us, Tekla.
We love you, Tekla. Pew, 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 pew. But I was telling her earlier that we had a showcase together at South by Southwest this year. And I hadn't DJ'd yet. I was hanging out. It was at the Coconut Club, which is like pretty much a rooftop on this one floor. All of a sudden, like you get up and take the mic, and we all just were like, who the fuck is this, right? And I'm like, oh, he's a rapper, like, and he's really good. That was song 1. Song 2, you go into like a D'Angelo, you know what I'm saying, situation, right? And you're like, get the mic, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? We just switched it up. That was song 2. Third song, the Afro beats start coming out, right? Don't cry yet. Hey, don't cry yet. The Afro beats start coming out, and I was just like, who the fuck is this guy? And you converted every single human that was in that space, who had never heard of you before, and your stage presence without even dancers, the DJs off in the corner. It was just you. And like, I live for that. Like, whether it's a DJ, an artist, like, I live for that. You know, like finding your new favorite artist, like that's just gonna be a star. And like, I was like, I gotta get you on the show now so that these hoes know when he's, you know what I'm saying, doing go Chang, that you heard it first. And not that you're a brand new artist by any means. Yeah. And I wanna know like why music is so prevalent in your life in general. Mm-hmm. And then we'll get into the background of like why you went from the lawyer route to the artist route.
Performing is my favorite thing about music, is the connection.
Yeah.
That means a lot to hear you say that. The music, my mother was a piano teacher before I was born. So when she was having my brother, she was a piano teacher. My older siblings are also classical pianists. We've all been playing since we were about 4 years old. My family actually used to put on a Christmas concert in Nigeria for 10 years, from 2005 to 2015. And all my cousins, aunties and uncles would play their instruments. Some play cello, some play violin, some sing or play organ. And then we'd sing carols together, and people, like a lot of people would come to these concerts. So it's definitely a family thing. My sister's a film scorer in Nigeria, her name's Kaline. Wow. So it started as classical piano, just growing up doing piano recitals and stuff.
Okay.
And growing up with a lot of Motown classic music, old Nigerian music, bunch of different genres. But my sister put me onto soul sampling, and that's what like brought all my worlds together and like broke everything open at the same time. It was like, I didn't know you could take stuff and flip it that way and make it new like that. And so in high school, I started producing, and after the first beat I made, I knew instantly like, I don't think I'm ever gonna stop doing this.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of high school, I started writing my own. I do have some things I need to get off my chest and
Yeah.
things I need to process for myself. And that's when I started rapping for real and putting out my own solo work.
Okay, and is this still in Nigeria?
So I started producing in high school in London. I went to boarding
Okay.
school in London, so I was 14. And then started writing when I was 18 and graduated high school, and then I came to the US for college.
Okay, we have some brave souls. Why don't you do the honors and do the first one, yes.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous, I'm a little excited.
How do I stop procrastinating?
I procrastinate sometimes, and usually it's a sign that I really don't want to do what I have to do. But sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and sometimes you don't.
You know what I say? I think you need to trick yourself a little bit. Like real or fake deadlines, you gotta like give yourself a reason that you can't get around to do the thing you need to get done.
Like trick your brain.
You gotta trick your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Like this has to get done, I can't do this thing until this gets done.
Yes.
And like make that happen. Like put the thing away or whatever you need to do to make it that this can't be moved.
Yes.
Continually.
What'd you study in college and where'd you go?
I studied Latin and Greek. So funny saying this now. I studied Latin and Greek. I was a classics major.
Yep.
I minored in computer music, and I went to Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island. Kind of by accident. I've always thought I'd go to university, as they call it in the UK.
Right.
And the day I had to make the decision, my dad was like, this music thing that you love, and I don't know, I think you should take a gap year, do the SATs, save my life, like do the SATs, reapply to the UK schools, but see what happens in America. I think it makes sense.
Wow.
And
Pops knew.
and it was between Brown and Duke. I didn't even get to see Duke. I just kind of landed at Brown.
Yeah.
They're like, stand on the main green and close your eyes and see what it feels like. And I'm like, it was cool, okay. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
You graduate.
Yeah.
And you say, time to be a lawyer?
I'm about to graduate and my music had picked up steam. I put out a tape that was kind of doing well in college. I was like fake campus famous. I hate saying that, but I was like getting known
Tell it like
on
it
campus. I did this thing my senior year in college where I got the chance to go to Abbey Road Studios in the UK and work with Mark Ronson for 2 days. And that was the week before I took the LSAT, which is like the law school entrance exam. So I'd made the decision to go to law school.
Okay.
Preparing for that, got this opportunity, and it's the week before. So that conversation with my parents was hilarious. My dad was like, no, you're not going. And I'm like, yes, I am. Cue negotiation.
Yeah.
But he let me go, did the LSAT, and I got into Columbia, and then I deferred for a year. Because they're like, okay, your music's actually doing something, what you can do in a year.
Yeah.
But that was the decision on get to go as hard as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you went to law school.
I went to law school 2017, graduated, started working at a firm in New York City. Yeah, and now and throughout all that time, college, law school, and working for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
I was still making music, putting out music, performing, like doing the whole thing, just finding ways to balance it.
Just doing it sort of on the side.
Yeah. And then it got to the point where you have to make a decision at some point. It's like,
do I have a bug on my lip?
you don't have a bug on your lip.
Okay, great. How do I stop looking at my phone so much? As I just gave an example of me looking at my phone. I think if you're serious about this question, there's apps that will actually lock you out of your phone and will lock you out of social media. If you can set the timers for how much usage you are gonna allow yourself throughout the day, but you almost have to set a goal or a schedule for yourself of what you can and cannot do on the phone that day.
Yeah.
One thing that helps me is if you're on a Mac and you use iMessage, I leave that open for my text messages while I'm like working or producing or something. And so if it's a text message that I need that comes up, great, I'll write it back quick, but like I have the phone over there.
Yeah, that's smart shit. But I do a similar thing where I'll actually have to physically put my phone far enough that I feel silly going up to go get my phone to look on Instagram for 2 seconds.
Exactly, yes.
So like even if it's just the couch over there or something, I'll just like just get it away from me.
It's the physicality, because it's like muscle memory to just like,
it's right
what's
here,
going on,
it's right here,
what's going on?
you know.
Yeah. What happened in that point when you couldn't make any other choice but to go for music?
I was told at each junction, like, you're not gonna be able to juggle these, you're gonna have to choose. But I was also kind of getting known for being the person who's like, oh, he's actually a good artist, but he actually also is a lawyer. And so I was kind of straddling those two things. But what happened was I started having shows and I'm waiting to send emails out like an hour before the show and I miss sound check and I'm down. And then I'm sitting down to create, and then emails start flying. I'm like, I can't do it. And the time just started doing that.
Yeah.
And then I noticed my energy and my spirit just started doing that. And I kind of felt like I would always use that part of my brain, the legal side. And I was privileged with that education, so I knew that there was something that I shouldn't let go of or push to the side. But I've always felt like an artist. Since that first beat I made when I was 14, I always felt like this is my life.
Yeah.
Primarily, you know. So it all just came to a head where I was just, I don't hate my job, but I love this thing so much more that I know I'm not really supposed to be here. And my parents saw that and they were like, this isn't gonna work. So, and if you fail, cool, keep trying, you fail. And then if the time ever comes where you have to make a real decision, like you have that's what plan B was for. You know, like you have your plan A and then you have something to fall back on. Like,
right,
cool.
right. It sounds like you have an incredible relationship with your parents.
Yeah.
And they seem to be very open to an untraditional path, which I know isn't always like the Nigerian parent way. And it sounds like you consult with them throughout these major milestones, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, every time I'm very lucky in that.
Yeah.
And they get it too, because my mom's a piano teacher and was in finance for decades. And my dad is an amazing photographer, but also has an engineering background. And so they understood. You're
living their wildest
I always joke with
dreams.
them, I'm like, this is your fault. At no point did I regret the decision. Like, yes, that check hitting your account every 2 weeks.
Sure.
It's a different feeling.
Sure.
But every time I would think about that, I would think about where I would be when I'm thinking about it. And it's usually on a weekend, on a Saturday or Sunday, and I'm like, no. And the money was just never gonna be worth it.
Yeah.
You know, so on that, in that sense of making the decision, I feel good about the decision. But the way the industry always changed quickly, and now I feel like that's accelerating. It changes so quickly, and there's so much out there, so oversaturated. That it's a scary market to be in.
Right.
But I wouldn't change it. I think I needed to do this.
Yes.
It's deep. It's probably deeper than the music for me. It's more a life thing. Like I needed to make that decision for myself. No one told me to do it. No one, you know, forced me to do it. I kind of had to draw my own boundaries.
Well, and I think like 15 years down the line, if you hadn't, you wouldn't have been able to live with yourself.
It's like a full circle thing.
Okay.
And my life has kind of always been this like revolving thing that kind of loops and loops and loops. But I think ultimately I'm supposed to be right here. In around their 9 to 5, loving it or hating it, but they feel like there's something that I'm supposed to be doing, and it's the purpose that's driving this whole meandering. But yeah, it's just like keeping that North Star visible and like keep going heading towards it.
This is not the end of the interview. I just have to dab you up.
You have a dab counter right here. Where should I go shopping to get jackets like yours? Ooh, I feel like this is for you.
Me?
This is stop playing. Stop playing.
Stop playing with the satin.
Nah, you're right.
The satin two-tone.
Come on. I'll be honest. This is actually. I was walking down the street and saw this like in a window. The jacket will find you. No, I'm playing. Yeah, you just gotta know what you like and do some research. Go find the places that have your vibe, and then when you get there, you then gotta really just like keep an eye out and find what it is.
But you did say vintage and thrift shops,
Vintage and
which,
thrift stores for sure.
if you have the patience to dig, and if you know how to repurpose, and you know how to style, and you know how to layer, you can find endless gems for very affordable prices.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people sit in the tortured struggle of needing to make ends meet and wanting to do what they feel they were put on earth to do that may not be the same profession as the vehicle that's making ends meet.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I tell people when they ask me about my journey, I'm like, I've just been a little insane. Like, I knew what I wanted to do at like 15, and I was insane from like 16 on, you know, like it was always music, it was always performing, there just wasn't, I have been led by this thing, like and that's not always how it comes to you, and that's totally fine. Like this is like you have an entire village of people who make up a choir that are all share DNA. Like it makes a lot of sense for you and your path. But for people that, like if you were talking to a friend that was like, hey, you know, I'm a accountant, you know, and I know that I'm supposed to be a guitarist, and every day it tortures me. What advice would you give to them? And I know it's like situational, it's not always black and white, but I guess because you've made the leap, and I know that the leap hasn't like, even fully matured yet. You're still in like round one.
Yeah.
But what would you say to someone who wants to talk to you about that?
I want to say a couple of things. I feel like the first thing is just listen closely to yourself, like, because your antennas can take you all kinds of different ways sometimes, but you'll know, like, if as you said, like, this is what I'm supposed to do, like, that thing has to be clear first of all. You have to know, like, because it's not going to be, like, I knew when I was making the decision, it wasn't going to be any easier. Arguably, I'll be working more hours, putting in more work.
Yeah.
For less return initially, you know? So like I had to know that it's all or nothing kind of thing. And then beyond that, there's the basics, like you really got to learn the industry, like be business savvy, like we can't do I don't know what's going on, I signed this shit, like we got to learn. There's enough information from people that have come before to know where most of the roadblocks are.
Yeah.
What else is important? I feel like there's something like right here. I'm trying to get to it. I think it's like know your limits. That's a listening to yourself thing again. But know your, like how hard you're willing to go, because you're gonna have to outwork everyone. That's how I approach it. Like I'm in a law office. You know, there's too many artists. There's a lot of noise out here. So to cut through, it's gonna take all the business savvy and all the relationships and all of that. But ultimately, like you have to outwork everyone. That's kind of that's my starting and ending point. It's like the work ethic never dwindles. And then hopefully the pieces come together. You know, right place, right time, bit of luck here and there. But yeah, the work is non-stop. Yeah, I don't know how much that's gonna help them, but that's probably what I would say.
Well, and that's the reality of it, right? That I think it helps to not sugarcoat what this actually takes, which is why my only answer to people is like, I might just be a little crazy, and you might need to be. You might need to be a little crazy. Like your drive and your purpose have to be the fuel that makes you work. Yeah. And makes you work in a way that is relentless. Yeah. You know.
I think the way I was raised and education being paramount, no compromise on that. I think it gave me sometimes I think that gave me too much sanity, because I'm like, I agree that insaneness is part of what takes you all the way through, you know? So that's always at the back of my mind, but at the same time, I know there's a million different ways for it to happen, and this is my path, and that's why the education side is so important, because I'm like, I've come down this path, I still know what I need to do, but that value is gonna be, there's just so much value there for the thing I'm trying to do and for other artists too. And so that's how I kind of reconcile those two things. But I agree that like the screw is loose in there.
Even just a little.
That's kind of what gets you all the way. Which I think I know a lot of people looking at me leaving my job. They're like, your screws were loose all this time. Like you just took your time to do it. Like, you know, they were just unscrewing slowly.
Yeah, do you see a plan in like your 50s to just have your like musical law firm?
I wanted to set up my own IP practice in Nigeria maybe, or wherever I was happened to be living at the time, to help artists specifically.
Love it.
So that was a long-term play.
Love it.
And that's still in there. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to put those pieces together now to get together.
I'll hire your firm.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it like DAP The Contracts, like plural. How do I make friends as an adult? I would suggest signing up for athletic sports wellness clubs. Go to a local tennis club, go to a run club, go to a pottery class, go to soccer, pickleball, which
whatever,
you know I'm a tennis and pickleball girly, so you can always come to my parties and my events and my clubs and my hitting sessions. But I think like sports and hobbies that offer, you know, classes and clubs is a great way to meet people as an adult, where there's a nice common denominator. It doesn't feel like a job interview where you're trying to meet friends. It doesn't feel forced. And it's an easy entrance point to meeting new people.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would say the same thing. I play soccer all the time, like every week, multiple times a week.
Yeah.
So definitely sports or just physical activity, doing things with people, so it's not just, hey, we're meeting. Yeah. And we have to talk now and introduce ourselves. Right. And, you know, all of that. Like that takes that away. Right. So I think, definitely things that make the meeting part of it not the primary focus of the thing. Yes. But it's not as easy as when you're young. You have to be, because you're not thrown into school, thrown into university
where there's hundreds, if not thousands, of other people your age that you, and like-minded, especially once you start going to university, where you can find people that have same interests. So you do have to be more proactive as an adult. I think if you're a musician and an artist, you tend to find people easily, but if you're not in the music or creative scene, get into the sports and wellness scenes. Okay, well, I hope we were excellent free advice givers, and we're going on tour for so many things, for music performances, for free advice giving, for, you know,
pickleball tournaments,
for law firm creations in the future, and things of that nature. So DAP the contract, DAP it up.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always. I'm proud of you, homie, and I can't wait to see you shine.